Brighten up those dark mornings. Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter. Mornings at the Cabin.
Good morning. Welcome to Mornings at the Cabin at your Friday morning. This morning's show brought to you by the Yellowknife Cabal, the sweetest smelling cabal in all of northern Canada. They run everything, including your coffee supply.
That explains it a lot.
Doesn't it? They are in charge of literally everything.
Well, I wish they'd get on with it around here.
No doubt. I want that FM license.
Don't we all?
We're working on it.
We're getting there day by day. You know, it's a long old slug, but there's nobody more determined in the history of radio, with a couple of maybe notable exceptions, like Marconi, I suppose, contributed along the way a little bit.
Guillermo Marconi. Is that what you're talking about? Guillermo Marconi? Guillermo? What is his name? Marconi. Francisco Marconi. What's his name?
Well,
the guy that sent the first transit letter.
Yeah, I know who you mean. I just
Marconi.
I know that bit.
Guillermo.
You just sound like a man who's got a speech impediment. Come on.
Guillermo Marconi? You're going to look it up right now?
Of course I'm going to look it up right now.
Your typing is very distracting. We are doing an intro to our Friday morning show.
Yeah, how do you pronounce that? Guillermo?
Guillermo.
Yeah, you've got it.
Oh, good Lord.
Morning, everyone.
But you know what? Let's start over. Mornings at the Cabin. Welcome to Mornings at the Cabin on your Friday morning, brought to you by the Yellowknife Cabal, the sweetest smelling cabal in the world.
They know how to pronounce names.
Do we? Do they?
The Yellowknife Cable.
The Yellowknife Cable. Your cable is really expensive, and it's all right. As for your cable internet, not so much.
Cut the cabal.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast.
Wheeler, Ollie, and Lecter.
Hey.
With you on your Friday morning. He sauntered in just a little bit after 7, as is his wont.
I would say traipsed even.
Ooh. I've never traipsed.
I've never traipsed?
I've sauntered. I've ambled.
Have you meandered?
I've meandered plenty.
You've lumbered.
Definitely lumbered. But most of my life is meandering.
Yeah.
Yeah, just doing enough to get by.
That's most of Mornings at the Cabin, to be
That's right. Just
quite honest.
Meander from subject to subject, or not even a subject.
The occasional sachet.
The occasional sachet.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right. But sometimes you just have to be fabulous. Speaking of fabulous, Brrrlesque tickets go on sale this Sunday. Get your clicking fingers ready, because it is an all-out brawl online, just like it is every year. You're going to want to get on there. You know what? Here's the thing. I've been to a few burlesque shows, but I've always just kind of got, hey, if you get tickets, I'll take one. Because I'm not going into that maelstrom.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, female strum. What?
Yeah. All right, we're done here.
We're done here. Okay. The cranberries, to my family. But I've never gone on, so I'm not sure what, tips to give you, except to, be there, clicking, ready to click at 11:59 and click immediately at 12 noon. Because that's what's up. Because they will sell out. If the pass is any indication, they'll sell out within 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Small amount of good news is they've got more tickets available online than they ever have before.
Wait,
so
I thought they were always available online.
I'm told by the organizers that there are more tickets available for you to get online this year than there ever have been before.
Wonderful.
I don't know the detail of how that works. I'm told that there should be more tickets. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be nice and easy. You can just saunter on at 3 days afterwards and pick up a couple tickets.
Absolutely. No, they'll be sold out within minutes.
It should make it a little easier.
A little bit better.
Maybe the performers have less friends this year.
They're
not as cool, so the rest of us benefit.
Unhappy and cruel outlook you've got there, Lecter.
Well, that's where the tickets go.
That is who are you referring to?
Okay.
Everybody.
Who's more cool that isn't doing it this year?
I think it's maybe so. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I just don't know.
No, you don't.
I don't know.
That's the safe answer.
He has a poop-eating grin on his face. So, yeah, you're going to have to click, immediately. There are more tickets. That's great. It might last a little bit longer, but...
we're talking minutes.
We're talking minutes. So, a glitter table for 4 is going to run you about $361.71. Individual tickets will go for about $54.06 after fees.
I would pay that to avoid being dunked in glitter.
Would you?
Glitter is the worst.
You would pay
substance.
$360 to not be dumped in glitter.
If dumped in glitter was the absolute certain alternative, I would probably find the money.
That
stuff. Right, when someone sends you a Christmas card that's got a glittery front cover on it, it means they hate you.
Yes.
It means they want you to suffer. It means they want you to find 4 days later there is glitter on your forehead that you cannot explain, but it's because somehow, somewhere, you touched the front of that card, and then 5 hours later had like a scratch, and then suddenly it's embedded in your face for days at a time.
If you've been to a burlesque show in the last 5 years, you have glitter in your body still, because your body can't digest that stuff, and it doesn't pass through very easily because just like the outside of your body, it just sticks to the inside of your body. There's probably a nice little glitter ball in all of us.
This is what we've been learning in Life Change, is that we shouldn't be eating glitter.
That's right.
That was the first lesson, actually. It was don't eat the glitter.
They do not have enough protein.
That is timely advice.
That's right.
Is shipyourenemiesglitter.com still a thing?
I don't know. I think so. I hope so, because that's awesome.
Because that just totally like went with our point that
That's right.
glitter is the worst thing in the world. Some people disagree. Some people think it's amazing.
And luckily
I
for
love
them,
bathing in it.
there are tables available.
That's
for
right.
$4.
The glitter table for $360. It's going to be a great show. Obviously, it always is a good show. I've got a bit more of a personal stake in it. My partner Phoenix is in it this year. It's her first time doing it, so I'm going to try to get a couple of tables so we can get everyone down there and get covered in glitter. I guess the thing about glitter is that it's fun. It is the herpes of the arts and crafts world because it'll never go away. But also, right now, we're trying to find different ways of making glitter because right now it's just made out of plastic, right? It's just like shredded up confetti.
Carrots.
Carrots.
Grate some carrots.
But there are biodegradable forms of glitter.
Well, grate the carrots really fine, like paint them a little bit, and then we could have a little production line.
That's right. I mean,
make
they do
carrot
dry out.
glitter. I'd be much better. I find it really unlikely that a carrot's going to lodge in my forehead 5 days after the event. If it has done, something's happened.
That's right.
Any inside track as to what Phoenix's act is going to be? I don't want to get you in trouble.
Well, it's going to be 70s themed.
Okay.
So there you go.
Yeah, very nice.
Inside track.
I have to admit I've been a little distracted this entire break because right off the top you said that getting the tickets is a brawl.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. Unfortunately, the image it created in my head was of Brrrlesque, a wrestling-themed burlesque show.
I think we just thought of a great idea to do.
And I haven't been able to shake that thought ever since.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
A wrestling-inspired burlesque show. We just put a little ring at the middle of the top night. It doesn't have to be a full-size ring.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's not that much of a departure.
It's not.
Without the fighting.
Absolutely.
Throwing chairs into the room. No, okay.
No, like hip toss.
Audience? Yeah,
hip
we can throw
tosses,
chairs.
A couple of body
Get really
slams.
interactive. Yeah.
I love this idea.
It might go somewhere.
It might go somewhere. Burlesque tickets going on sale at noon. You can get it at eventbrite.ca/e/burlesque 2019, the hottest show in town tickets. It's a long one. Just go to eventbrite.ca, look up Burlesque 2019. Hopefully that site will not crash while we all try to get tickets.
The Mornings at the Cabin podcast was recorded before a sort of live, thankfully not in the studio, audience.
This week it was announced, like a surprise announcement. No one really knew this was coming, and then a teaser just kind of dropped. It's a pretty effective teaser. It opens up on a night, a dark night. There's a barn in the background, and then you hear the kind of whistly, ghost-like sounds that you heard from the original movie that this one is a sequel to. And then it goes into the barn, and in the barn, under a sheet, under a tarp, is Ecto-1. The Ghostbusters mobile, because it is a teaser for the new Ghostbusters that's coming out. This is not a reboot. This is a sequel to Ghostbusters 2. This is Ghostbusters 3, and it's going to be directed by Jason Reitman, who is Ivan Reitman, the original director's son, and who's had obviously a lot of success in his own right. He's been nominated for Academy Awards. He directed Juno. He directed Up in the Air. He also directed a couple other things that were terrible.
Right, but hang on.
Yeah.
I mean, why do they even need the vehicle? Because presumably they've all got free transit as pensioners at this point. They can just hop on buses and get to scenes of crime. This is ridiculous. How can it be a sequel?
It's a sequel. I don't know.
Are they all like 70-something now?
I think part of it is...
Even the ghosts are going to have walking sticks.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Is the ghost going to be Harold Ramis? Is that the ghost going to be busting? Harold Ramis is dead.
Yeah, I was just thinking, well, they're all still alive, but yeah, no, of course.
Rick
Harold
Moranis is retired from Hollywood, has only done like voiceover work in the last like 15 years.
Yeah.
Apparently everyone's on board. I had an article queued up here, and now I can't find it. It was on Reddit, but it's Ernie Hudson, the fourth Ghostbuster, is saying that everybody's on board. So presumably Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver,
Bill Murray will just show up when the movie starts shooting.
Annie Potts, Rick Moranis. I don't know who else. Hopefully Kurt Fuller. He was in part 2.
Well, I'm intrigued to see how they deal with that.
I'm intrigued, and I mean also a little obviously just like it's been like it's set for release in 2020. Ghostbusters 2 came out in 1999 or 1989.
Yeah, I was going to say
1989.
What? No.
All right.
That recent?
All right.
Anyway,
That's
20 years ago?
31 years ago. That by the time it comes out, it's interesting. I like it. It interests me, and this is going to sound however it's going to sound. It interests me more than the reboot that came out a couple years ago with all those ridiculously talented comics in it.
It was a good movie. I really enjoyed it.
It was not a good movie.
It was a great movie.
It was terrible. No, well, okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that movie. It's that it wasn't a Ghostbusters movie. It was just like a comedy with the Ghostbusters in it. Because one of the bigger problems with a lot of comedies these days is that it's just, let's set up the shot, have the actors improvise in front of it, and then we'll just keep the best stuff. And there's a lot of that going on. Paul Feig is an okay director, and he's obviously had a lot of success with like Bridesmaids and The Heat, but like...
Why is it not a Ghostbusters movie?
Well, okay. It doesn't have that, like, if you watch the first 2, they're shot in a very specific way. They're lit in a specific way. They look, they have a certain
they
look
cater to the audience at the time.
Well, not
as this
necessarily
one.
the audience at the time, but they cater to, they're actually kind of more, they're better directed, I think is the thing. Right. They actually have a direction, and the movie... The script is served by the direction is served by the script, whereas in a Paul Feig movie, it seems to be there's a loose script, and then there's a lot of improvising going on, and you can really tell when there's a lot of improvising going on, and they just like kept the best bits, and that's something that's kind of infected comedy for the last 15 years.
But some people might like that.
No, of course. I
went there and I loved the movie.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that I didn't find it a good movie.
I thought it was a good movie, and like I love the soundtrack to it. Like I've got a whole bunch of tracks.
The soundtrack is great. Yeah.
For that movie as well, and I don't know. For me, it was a perfectly like legit part of the whole world of it. You know, I enjoyed it.
I think everyone in it is great. The whole cast is pretty incredible. It's just that like the villain was boring, and it had that air of like, okay, we're going to set up the camera, let these people improvise, and then we'll just keep the best bits, which is not what... I mean, obviously there's improvisation in the first 2, but it just doesn't feel as loose. It feels way more tightly scripted. The relationship seems stronger. And, so there it is. I'm a sexist pig.
This may shock both of you, but...
You haven't seen
I
either
never saw it.
Yeah. Have you seen any of the 3 Ghostbusters
Oh,
movies?
the originals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the first 2.
Okay.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't see the reboot.
I'm not one of these people that's like, Ghostbusters, the first Ghostbusters is a perfect movie. It's a classic, but I mean, it's not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it's one of those ones, and like, it's not like the reboot ruined my childhood or anything like that. I just didn't find it that strong, especially given the amount of talent that was in it, right? You got Kristen Wiig, you got Kate McKinnon, Leslie Jones, and Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah.
Right? So you have ridiculously talented comedians.
Yeah.
And what came out of it was not what could be the best comedy of that year. It wasn't. When you have that many talented people, you think you'd fart out a good comedy.
As opposed to Bridesmaids, which I think was
a classic. But I mean,
far.
Bridesmaids suffers from the same thing. Like there's a 2.5 hour cut of Bridesmaids, which added a lot of those scenes where they just kind of were improvising a lot, and now that yielded some better results, and like it's a really good movie.
Right.
But there's a lot of that kind of improv stuff that is kind of been around since Judd Apatow broke huge with like 40-Year-Old Virgin.
This is harkening back to our Anchorman chat.
That's right. Anchorman suffers from a lot of those same weaknesses. The first one is fine. The second one is garbage.
You know what?
What?
They're funny. And they're comedies.
If you don't like improvisation,
they're funny and they're comedy. Yes, I don't like improvisation. Yeah, you're right. No, I hate improvisation.
Okay.
I'm just a trained improviser who improvises on a daily basis. But fine. No, it's not that I don't like improv. It's that I don't like static shots where it's just like, okay, you guys just say funny things for 20 minutes and we'll keep the best one. And you can tell because the scenes don't line up together. They don't flow into each other. They just kind of go scene and then another scene and another scene. Whereas a well-directed movie with a good script will flow properly, whereas these static shots with improv tend not to flow as well. and you can see where they do quick edits because it's like, okay, we got that, but we need something else, and we need this little bit of information, so let's throw that in there. There tends to be a lot of ADR because sometimes they have these improvised
What's
sets.
ADR?
ADR is automated dialogue replacement.
Oh.
Or
Just re-recording the dialogue later.
Exactly. Or adding things where like you can't see a person's mouth, so they go, "Hey, over here," and like that kind of thing.
Okay.
So in these improvised comedies, there tends to be a lot of that because sometimes they'll shoot these scenes. Some person won't get out that nugget of information that they needed to get to the next scene. So in ADR, they'll be like, "Hey, that next scene," and they'll do that. So there's just things about it that bother me.
So,
and as the most knowledgeable movie person here, you're wrong, and I'm right.
So needless to say, if there's any improvisation in the sequel,
no, that's
you
not
won't be
what I'm
buying
saying.
the toys.
That's not. I will always buy the toys. I will always buy the toys. If there's any improv in any movie from now on, you're dead to me.
All right.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's fair. No, that's fair. Stick with that.
Cabin Radio's morning show podcast. All the best chat, none of the embarrassing mistakes.
We are joined by Michelle from the SPCA. Mm-hmm. Good morning. The Pet Project has come to us.
That's right.
This is your first foray into our domain. We invade your workspace every week. You get to come here now.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty special to be able to be here in studio with you guys. It's great in here.
Yeah, we have slightly fewer pets.
It's a little quieter.
Sorry, I should have brought some dogs to like be barking in the background. Or we could have had some background noise just to like make me feel at home because I'm feeling a little bit semi-awkward right now.
Does the comm make you uneasy just because it's like, why is nothing going on?
Why is it not chaotic?
And also,
in here?
usually you guys are holding the microphone for me,
That's
so
right.
like I don't have to. If I move my head, you guys will hold the microphone for me. This time, I have to really be very cognizant of where my face is
Now,
to the microphone.
You're on your own this morning, Michelle.
Yeah.
we have experimented with animals in this studio in the past, haven't we, Lecter?
What?
Have we?
We have.
Gotta let them in
you're-
on this stuff.
You're sitting above some of the
Oh,
evidence.
yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it wasn't really an experiment.
No, we brought some
But-
dogs.
Well,
in.
Yeah.
okay, but it's certainly one that ended. Whether or not it was because I have not seen Finnegan in this studio since Finnegan redecorated the carpet underneath your chair.
Yeah. Well, in the summer, he was having some issues. He had a hot spot on his tail, had to wear the cone of shame.
Oh, yeah.
And I wasn't sure how well he was going to cope with it at home. So I was like, I'll just bring him into work. It'll be fine. And he decided it was a good opportunity to make his mark. Didn't pee, but he threw up on the floor.
Oh.
Yeah,
And I took a little longer than some would have liked to do a thorough carpet shampooing job in here. I thought it looked fine. AJ disagreed.
it looks great.
can't
now.
even
I
tell now.
can't even tell.
AJ's
Yeah.
a neat freak.
He is.
All these people, they
We
come
could
in, they insist that we clean up the dog vomit.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would put dog vomit all over this place.
Now, Michelle, when you walked in here, obviously, for anyone who's listening and doesn't know, you are the vet at the SPCA. You came in here and immediately Jesse had a question for you that slightly took me aback because I was not expecting your opening statement to Michelle to be on the subject of turtle hibernation.
That's right. I asked, but because we are caring for a turtle, and it has gone into, is it called brumation? Do I have that right or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
No,
It just
sure.
Sorry, it's gone.
In the light reading I've done, that's what it was called.
It's gone. It's gone to Bro Nation.
Bro Nation. my turtle's a bro. Anyway, it's in hibernation mode. And I was just asking because like I imagine that's what doctors are used to, is that just unsolicited medical
For
advice.
sure. I don't even think I had gotten through saying good morning.
No,
to
you were
yet.
like, good turtle.
Yeah.
Is my turtle okay?
Yeah.
I said good morning and welcome.
What's
Damn
wrong?
it.
What's wrong with your turtle?
Nothing's wrong with the turtle. It's in hibernation mode, and I just wanted to make sure it was okay because it hasn't eaten in 2 weeks, and like I touch it, it's still warm. That's fine.
And you know, I mean, that's what hibernation's all about.
Right? Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Stuffing your butt full of berries and grubs, and then sleeping for
Sleeping
months.
and
Wait,
being
that's bears.
warm.
That's
Well,
bears. Yeah.
pretty much the same turtles.
There
right?
you go.
Yeah.
Sweet. See, that's all I was asking.
So essentially, you're just tiptoeing into this turtle every few days to check that it hasn't died.
Every once in a while.
And I hope that your landlord is hopefully listening to this today because they'll really know how much you really care about
I
this
do
turtle.
care about this
That you brought the
turtle.
vet into studio
That's right.
just to ask that
Just
specific
that.
question.
This is the only reason. Her name is Maud.
So how do you
The turtle?
Yeah.
Nice.
Not you.
not or the landlady?
Yeah.
So how do you get into this like because I feel like now is a perfect time to hibernate. I would gladly sign up for this. What do I need to do to get into Bronation?
to Bronation, you need to cut your hair. You know what? It was just a matter of like because she was kind of languid, I guess is the word. It's kind of moving around less and less as it got colder and colder.
Yeah,
okay, shut up. That's not what's going on here. So like before, it was like once or twice a week, put her in her little container filled with water so she could swim around, and then put her out on the floor so she could kind of move around a lot and have her poop and eat. And then the last couple weeks before Christmas, she didn't want to do that at all, didn't eat. And I was like, I wasn't overly concerned because the owner was like, yeah, that's what happens. In the winter, she'll probably not eat much at all. Like,
Your turtle does Christmas wrong.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the turtle's like, you know what? I'm just going to shut down at Christmas because I'm not going to do that to myself.
We baked all of this for you. Look at all of these tasty treats. It's Christmas. Oh, anyway, go on. Anyway, ungrateful turtle.
I am telling a story. So anyway, before we went on vacation, obviously someone was taking care of the house, and we wrapped it up in its little fleece. It's got a little pair of like PJs that it sleeps on. Wrapped it up in its little fleece, and I was talking with the house sitter, Nancy McNeil, was actually taking care of the house, and just like, how's the turtle doing? It's just not moving a lot. And I'm like, all right, it's probably fine. And then like I came back and checked on it. It's still warm, and I checked on it a couple of days ago. Just kind of stroked its back, and little flipper just kind of went, like, all right, still good.
And where is Maud hanging out in her fleece?
Laundry room.
Yeah. Okay, so that's where you have to go
right
to
next
get to
the
Bronation, Ollie.
Yeah,
I got it.
Right next to the furnace.
This strikes me as being profoundly dangerous.
What?
So the turtle is in the laundry room.
Yes.
The way I do laundry, it's all like I get it all into the laundry room. I don't really look.
And then you stomp heavily around the floor.
And then I just grab all of it that I can see and just throw it in the laundry and just throw it in the washing machine and switch it on. I'm just a little worried that a hibernating turtle might find itself.
What color are these fleece PJs?
Like light blue. Oh. Yeah. No, they're nowhere near the piles of laundry that are everywhere else around the house. Although I know what to listen for. It'll sound like you put a shoe in the dryer. But it's
this show brought to you by the SPCA.
Yeah,
for obvious reasons.
We are taking care of this turtle very well.
I might have to go do a home check.
You might, if you could come by. Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing a fine job.
I am doing a fine job,
which is good. Having said that,
is delicious. What?
Behave.
No,
not everybody. Not everybody gets the chance to. Don't antagonize the vet. What have we told you? So turtles get to hibernate and stay very nice and warm. On the other hand, at the SPCA, it's -40, -50 with wind chill, and you've got a few dozen at least dogs that need a whole bunch of exercise. How's that going down?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we're not just a shelter for turtles, because it'd be super easy.
It'd be like one of those Japanese hotels where you just get like a chest of drawers or something. You're just like, in goes another one, slide it in.
But yeah, no, at the shelter right now, we are full as always.
Mm-hmm.
It has been insanely cold, so we have had to change some things up at the shelter. So usually we have a lot of dogs outside. We've moved most of them inside, the ones that we had room for. The ones that have shorter coats might not be able to handle outside as much. So we only have 3 dogs outside right now that have nice, thick, warm coats that can handle it. They have extra straw in their dog houses, which is changed regularly so that they don't even have any issues with being too cold. Now the animals that are inside and the people that are inside, of course, all of our dogs still need to go on walks, right? We try to walk 3 times a day, so that requires a lot of the dogs having some fancy booties and fancy coats on. But you would be surprised that a lot of these dogs, they're just really excited to get outside, right? So they'll get outside and they'll go for a quick walk, and that's okay for them. They kind of know, we get outside, gotta pee and poop. Yeah. Let's go for a little jaunt down the street, come back, and then they're happy in their warm kennel again. So they adapt to this cold weather, which is good for us. The ones who are a bit more energetic and want more exercise, we can put in the run outside so that they can just run around. We usually put them in 2 at a time so they have some fun and some interaction with another dog. And then, of course, for the people, we just have to dress extra warm.
Mm-hmm.
Extra warm.
The people have no fun. The dogs,
Yeah.
marginal
Yeah.
amount of
They're
fun.
doing all right.
Yeah.
How many puppies you got right now?
Oh, right now we have a lot of puppies in foster homes,
Okay.
which is really great.
Yeah.
But we do have maybe about like 15 puppies
Good
in the
Lord.
shelter right now. But a lot of them are actually a little bit older. So we've actually started bringing them outside as well to start house training them.
Yeah.
And so they're all really great. It's not like you don't walk in and you walk in and you hear all those like puppy crazy barking.
Yeah.
It's not like that right now. It's
Nice.
kind of weird.
Yeah.
Well,
not-
now that I say that, we're probably going to get this like big influx of puppies. So
Yeah, no
watch
doubt.
next week. We might show you them all.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Michelle, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for
we
having
appreciate
me.
your turtle advice. We will,
Absolutely.
We'll find you a whole bunch of puppies. Is that how that works? That's
Yeah.
how that works, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Well, we'll bring the puppies here next time.
Yeah.
There we
That's
go.
right.
Well, we were
Yeah.
talking about that we've got this beautiful studio space. It deserves to be explored by cute animals on a weekly basis. So, yeah, Pet Project is going to come to Studio One a little bit
And-
more often.
Promise we'll clean the carpet after.
Mornings at the Cabin, the podcast, where we cut out all the great music and you're left with the rest.
Canada's known for a lot of big things. It's the second largest country. We got big mountains. We got what? What are you laughing at?
It's just a great lead-in.
We are. Canada's known for a lot of big old things.
We go big or we go home.
We
eh?
go big or we go home, buddy. No doubt about it. But we got like the world's largest fork, the world's largest totem pole, the world's largest
Mosquito?
teepee, world's largest mosquito, world's largest Tyrannosaurus Rex, world's largest paperclip.
It's almost as though we're, I don't know, a
just-
little inferiority
Like
complex or something.
possibly. Like we're the second biggest country in the world, only next to Russia. Yet we only have 36 million people, meaning there's a whole bunch of undeveloped land out there,
Yeah.
and that's all right. World's largest orange, world's biggest lobster.
Where's the
but,
world's largest orange?
It looks like it's in. Pardon me. It's in Montreal.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't see that
Oh,
one
it
coming.
may not be the world's largest, but it is
Oh.
a huge orange. It's actually an orange tulip.
Okay.
There you go. Big Fiddle in Sydney. One of the biggest. The world's largest axe. New Brunswick.
Oh, yeah.
One of the biggest, though, is the world's largest moose, or at least it was, in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. So they got a big moose there. Obviously, Moose Jaw, it's the name.
Right.
A town in Norway has recently overtook it
Wow.
as the world's largest moose. And Moose Jaw's not taking it lying down.
Nor should they.
They've made viral videos saying that this will not stand. Mac the Moose has been there since 1984, and it's called Moose Jaw. How can we live in Moose Jaw and not have the biggest moose?
That's a fair question. So what do they propose to do about that?
They just suggested building a bigger rack for Mac the Moose. Because right now, Mac the Moose looks like kind of an immature moose. He's got like a small rack, whereas the moose and it's also fairly awful looking. Whereas the moose in
Was
Norway,
built in 1984.
I know, but still, we knew what a moose looked like in 1984, and it looks like it's built with paper mache. The moose in Norway is stunning. It is anatomically correct. It's even got musculature, and it's like it's a big metal statue. It's reflective. It's like a shiny. It looks like a T2, a T1000 moose, and it's got an impressive rack of lamb up there, up top. So it's 30 centimeters taller than Mac the Moose and Moose Jaw. So the people of Moose Jaw are banding together, and they're saying we need to add a bigger rack to Mac the Moose, or better
Okay.
yet, build another Mac the Moose.
Yeah, I mean, that seems a little vain if
Does
you
it?
just make the rack bigger, but the rest of it stays the same.
Well, I mean, don't we all want parts of our body to be bigger? It's obviously they're having a lot of fun with it. This town in Norway is saying if you make it bigger, we're just going to make ours bigger.
So we've got ourselves a Cold War with Norway.
That's right, a cold moose war with Norway.
Okay.
So it
Well,
begins.
why don't we've got a couple other moose communities, towns
Yeah.
in Canada. Moosomin, Saskatchewan.
That's right.
Moose Factory, Ontario.
That's right.
Why don't one of these moose communities
Step up.
take up the torch
Right.
and build themselves a bigger moose.
Well, then you're just spitting in the face of Moose Jaw.
No, you're banding together.
Moose Factory.
No, you're
Moose, I'm in.
You pay a homage to what's the moose's name in Moose?
Mac.
Mac the Moose.
Mac the Moose.
You pay some kind of homage to Mac the Moose. This is for you, Mac.
Yeah.
This is a bigger moose.
Yes. Mac the
I don't
Moose. Also, Macklemore cover artist, but as a moose. Mac the Moose.
Okay.
Yeah, no good. Or Mac the Knife, Mac the Moose. We could go all day with these things. But Norway's saying basically, if you build a bigger moose, we're just going to build a bigger moose. Okay. And the artist responsible for the moose in Norway is saying, maybe we can make a moose that's 20 meters tall. That's 60 feet. That's over 60 feet. Like 63 feet.
Well, hopefully this doesn't lead to some kind of Cuban moose-ssile crisis. Ooh. That's the best I got.
That is pretty damn good.
All right.
Just leave it there.
Like the podcast? Listen live. Mornings at the Cabin, 7 till 9 each weekday.